All right, Shalom. I'd like to say, call Allah, wa was all praise and glory. In Hebrew to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Karkadash. To my sponsor, Elder Great Millstone, Blessed God elect. Few sisters, Israelite foreigners, waking up to the truth. All right. Yeah, y'all see what's happening. Y'all see what's happening in the news. The other nations, all right, they ain't feeling this whole Babylon, all right? They ain't feeling her no more, man. They starting to see, um, they starting to see this place America what it truly is, all right? Which is the enemy, okay? And this is all biblical prophecy. As I read through this article, I'm gonna break it down through scriptures. But this is Trump questions NATO will for collective defense while casting down on U.S. on treaty committee. President Trump suggested Thursday that the members of U.S.-led NATO transatlantic military alliance will not come to the aid of the U.S. should America... Damn, what the fuck, man? Should America come under attack... That's like that. I'm gonna read over again. President Trump suggests Thursday that members of the U.S. NATO transatlantic military alliance would not come to the aid of the U.S. should America come under attack. NATO members are bound to... Yeah, they don't trust you, man. All right, and it really is the that's a breach of Article 5 with the NATO alliance with U.S., which basically if one of them get attacked, they all get attacked. So they all gotta get into that war together. Okay. America come under attack. NATO members are bound to back each other military in the face of any aggressive under the collective defense cause and the alliance founding treaty. See, that's what I just quoted. Did you think they're going to come and protect us? They're supposed to. I'm not sure, Mr. Trump said as he addressed reports at the Oval Office. He said in the same conversation that he would breach that treaty and only send the U.S. military to defend NATO allies that contribute what he deems to be fair share of their national GDPs, which is gross domestic products, basically all their everything like they produce or manufacture. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be weapons, whether it be people working, employees and all shit like that. That's what it means when you buy service people that's employed. All right. So what Trump has a problem with is he said, listen, I'm not gonna back nobody up in NATO if they not giving their fair share as far as their expenses to help pay for these wars. All right. That's what to break it all down in simplest terms, what this article is talking about. A core foundation upon which nearly 80-year alliance is built is Article 5, like I mentioned, of NATO founding treaty. Under the article, should any NATO member nation become victim of armed attack, the other member will consider it as an attack against all members and will take action if deemed necessary to assist. All right, so this dude Trump, he's switching up the game. He's saying, I'm not going to back nobody up that's not going to pull their own weight as far as the money for their defense, for as the military, putting money into the military basically. All right, and which that violates the contract that U.S. made with NATO. So you just can't, you can't switch up the thing. You can't switch things up just because you feel like people ain't putting their fair share in. All right. So that's why the NATO members got a problem with this place America with Trump. Article 5 has only been invoked once in NATO history, and that was on September 12, 2001, the day after Al-Qaeda killed nearly 3,000 people in an unpreceded terrorist attack on Washington, New York. A U.S.-led invasion that followed in Iraq, Afghanistan. America's NATO's allies cumulatedly lost well over 1,000 troops in combat over a 20-year period, bringing along lost 642 members of its armed forces. More than 7,000 members of the U.S. Armed Forces were killed during the same period, according to the Watson Institution for International and Public Affairs, Brown University. President Trump was speaking in response to a question about whether the U.S. would defend NATO partners if they were not paying what it deems to be their fair share towards their own defense. Right, because we've been helping all these other European nations for us financial aid with different expenses, all right? Whether it be infrastructure, whether it be the military military expenses. You know, that's why Trump is all trying to save money right now. Okay, so he's getting the money from wherever he can. President Trump has long argued that the U.S. carries on an undue burden, spending more to ensure Europeans' defense than NATO members of the continent, and is pushing now for those members to boost their domestic defense spending at least 5% of their respective GDPs. If you're not going to pay, we're not going to defend. If you're not going to pay your bills, we're not going to defend you, Mr. Trump said. 5% defense spending, Mr. Trump has demanded of America's NATO allies is a significantly higher proportion than what the U.S. pays. The U.S. currently allocates about 3% of its GDP alliance annually, and one of the higher amounts relative to the NATO's nations, but not to the highest. According to the data compiled by the Atlantic Council think tank in Washington, the highest spender related to the GDPs is Poland, which shares a long border with Ukraine. Then, after the U.S., comes Greece and a number of NATO nations right on the eastern edge of democratic European closet to Ukraine and beyond Russia, with the Nordic states. Over the past decade, European NATO members and Canada have steadily increased their collective spending on defense, 1.3% of their combined GDP in 2014 and 2.2% in 2024, according to figures posted on NATO's website. But many member states are still failing well short of 5% mark that Trump had called for. Some have yet to even make 2% GDP spending threshold currently as a target by the alliance. Poland's President Andrzej Duda on the Thursday said he had proposed a spending minimum of 3% GDP for all NATO members in a post of social media. Friedrich Merz, the likely next leader of Germany, also announced a plan this week to raise $100 billion in extra spending on defense and infrastructure should he take office. And that Germany is part of that the clay and iron. Let me see. Damn, I don't know why I'm forgetting shit. Yeah, it's clay and iron. Yeah, so Germany will fall as clay, which represents all the weaker members of the beast of the EU, basically. And because iron is strong, right? Germany be sorry if I word that wrong. No, Greece. Places like Greece, all right, which their economy is done. They would be a weaker member of EU as far as the economy and all that stuff. And Germany would be a strong, because you can see they talking about proposing coming up with a plan to raise billions of dollars. So Germany is a strong EU member. Trump remarks came at the end of the week, which he had administration of Europe feathers appearing on the question the contributors America's NATO allies. The point comments on Thursday. President Emmanuel Macron said France and the U.S. were loyal and faithful allies, and that France had respect and friendship from the United States. I think we're entitled to expect the same, Macron said. An interview with Fox News on Monday, the Vice President J.D. Vance appeared to diminish the value of military contributions by the key U.S. allies, both past and future, while discussing the proposal minerals deal between Ukraine and U.S. Vance said the potential economic deal, which the White House has pushed, I don't even say that, hard to sign, its way better security guaranteed than 20,000 troops from some random country that isn't fought in a war 30 to 40 years. Those comments sparked outrage from politicians in France and UK, the only two countries that have thus far said that they might send troops to help maintain peace under a ceasefire in Ukraine. While Vance later appeared to walk his remarks back on social media, saying that both countries had fought bravely alongside the U.S. over the last 20 years, and that he did not even mention the U.K. or France in the interview. The diplomatic damage was done. France far-right leader Marine Le Pen condemned Vance's comments, defending the notable memory of French troops, signing that no patriot will therefore allow it to be said that our country is ordinary. UK member of the parliament, Ben Obets Cheeky. Oh man. A former British armed officer who fought in Iraq and Afghanistan told CBS News partner network BBC News on Tuesday the disrespect shown by the U.S. by the new U.S. Vice President to sacrifice our service personnel is unacceptable. It's difficult to see who he was talking about, and if he's talking about Britain and France. Betsy Jekti said. So this guy's a UK, a politician, UK, right? And that's part of too. Because America came out of Great Britain. It said thy mother which have born thee shall be ashamed of thee. Roughly paraphrasing it. Somewhere in Jeremiah 50 chapter, I believe. Before he died. But we can see where the chips are falling right now, and yeah, this is increasing the tensions between the beast and the great whore. Alright, which America's great whore that sits upon the beast, which is NATO and the EU countries, and the beast, which is NATO and EU, are gonna burn this bitch with fire, which is America. America is that whore. And how they gonna burn with fire? With their nuclear capabilities, their nuclear missiles. Same way the dragon shoots out fire out of his mouth. That's how these nations gonna shoot their fire on America. Okay, but going back to biblical prophecies, Revelations. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start Obadiah 1:7. So all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They have eat thy bread and have laid a wound under thee, and there is none understanding them. Right. So everybody, NATO and the EU countries that are allied with America, because America is still it controls these other countries. That's why the whore is sitting on the beast, controlling it. Right. America is over these other nations. All right, and that's why they gotta report to New York, United Nations. United Nations America don't gotta come to their the world gathering takes place here in America, right? Well, don't take place no other place in these other countries. All right, shows you who's in control. Then it says they have deceived, because these other nations they said that they eat thy bread, meaning they take foreign aid from you. All right, just like I was just reading Trump saying like, I'm not about to back no other nation up if they ain't pulling their own weight. If we gotta continue to fund them for them to have a good economy and military, all right, military supplies, then this ain't what I signed up for. I ain't gonna defend them. All right, so the other nation, they're gonna shoot missiles on you, man. Daniel 7:20 says the 10 horns, which is the EU, they were in his head, talking about the beast, all right, NATO and EU, all right, and the other which came up before three fell. The three fell that was talking about France, Britain, and Spain, because this all took place when America was all these wars, the Revolutionary War, the Indian, was it Indian, the Indian War, I think it's called that, and then you had the Spanish War. Those three wars that took place. All right, and then America came the victor of all of them. All those nations was fighting, man. Which is all Edomites. All right, those are three that fell: France, Britain, and France, Britain, and Spain. Even that horn talking about America, had eyes and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stopped than his fellows. Meaning this America is more proud of these other nations. America think they better than these other nations. All right. So yeah, we can see these prophecies happen before our very eyes, man. Okay. All right. So, and Trump definitely is the Edomite that represents America, who has that proud, puffing his chest at everybody, man. Okay. That's why we think Trump is the guy that's gonna get it done, man. Because, man, that dude Trump, man, he don't play, man. He just don't play. I mean, it gotta be Trump, man. Lord willing, we can be out here between this 4 years of this dude running in office. All right, because he only been right now in office for 1 month, and look how much he done, man. He changed everything, man, within 1 fucking month. Okay, so Trump might be our guy, man. Trump might be our guy. All right, but yeah, man, this is more prophecy coming to pass. It's gonna lead to World War III eventually, and we just gonna continue to sit back and watch this place fall. All right, Lord said, watch. But with that, we all praise and glory to Yahweh Shem Mashah, the Bible spots, Israel, Mitzvah. Let's go. Let few sisters, Israel, Shalom.